What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Cascade tank. Random question time again, guys. So when you're dripping, do you prefer to paint your coils delicately with liquid, or do you just squirt juice down the drip tip all willy-nilly? Personally, I am a coil painter because I have used Kennedy RDAs for years, and with those, they're bottom airflow, so you have to be a little bit more careful when you're dripping on your coils. Otherwise, it's going to leak a little bit. So that's just me. Personally, that's my style. I want to know how you guys drip. Just let me know right down there in the comments box below. All right, guys, so we've got the Vaporesso-Cascade tank to take a look at, and I got to say, this one in my book is just one little step above the Cleto 120 when it comes to both clouds and flavor. I really love the vapor production that you get off of these coils, and the flavor is absolutely on point as well. With a big shout out and thank you going to Vaporesso for allowing me to take a look at this device for the purpose of this review. So taking a quick look online, this device is available in 4 different color options. You have black, blue, rainbow, and stainless. I of course have the black version, as you can see here, and it's going to run you about the $35 mark. Of course, if you guys want to pick one of these up for yourself, I'll leave links right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got the Cascade tank in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. So first and foremost, we have this lovely display box packaging, as you can see here, which is really nice, because you can see the tank right there out in front. Cascade tank is in a lovely embossed gold, and it's kind of a beigey, tanny sort of color. Not really my first choice, but hey, that's just me. We have a little bit of information right here on the bottom as well, which is kind of neat. Vaporesso logo on that side, UPC on that side, Vaporesso logo on that side, and Cascade tank on the top. So on the back we have some pretty basic information here. We have a little bit of an explanation about what's going on inside. We have some contents, the social media, and some company information, as well as some warnings there at the bottom. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. What is inside the box? So we have the tank itself. If I can get it out, there we go. Of course, the tank itself, there we go. Taking that piece out, we have a spare coil. This is the, what is it? The 0.4 ohm, I believe, 0.4 ohm. We have the GT coil adapter. So this is what you can put your GT coils in if you want to use those instead of the ones that come with it. And also a bunch of spare O-rings, which just kind of come loose here, which is not the greatest choice in my opinion, but hey. A bunch of spare O-rings and seals and stuff. Oh, see, I just lost one already. And an extra piece of glass as well, just in case you break it. Underneath here, we have, oh dear Lord, a huge, massive poster of a fold-out manual. Oof, this might be the worst of the worst. Oh my god. I'm going to attempt to unfurl this thing. Yeah, so, well, this is great if I spoke 19 different languages, but I don't, so this is completely unnecessary in my opinion. And that's why I really don't like this sort of style here, you know. I like the booklets better because you can just flip to the one you want, and that's it. In this case here, we have these massive poster-sized things, and I have to undo the whole thing just to look at the English part of it. Anyways, minus 5 points there. You know what? Minus 10 points. That one was really bad. We have our warranty card right there, and we have the obligatory warnings as well. So, pretty basic stuff in the bottom here, and that's about it. Alright guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's 25 millimeters in diameter with a slide-to-fill top-fill design, large fill port, 7 mil maximum juice capacity, innovative isolation structure design that separates the coil and juice for a consistent flavor and reduces dry hit potential. It uses the GT coil family, including the GTM and GT coils, with the adapter of course. Triple adjustable bottom airflow, 11mm by 3mm each air slots, fully closable, 11mm bore Delrin drip tip included, and it has a heating insulation layer. Alright guys, let's go over the Cascade tank from top to bottom as we normally do, starting off with the drip tip up top here, and well, that's a little bit disappointing. This thing is just a 510 drip tip with a 510 size bore, as you can see right there down the middle. it's nothing really special. Kind of wish they included a nice wide bore on this because honestly, you're dealing with some of the coils that go up to 200 watts. So with that, you're going to need a little bit more airflow at the chimney section. But then again, I guess it's a trade-off to have it have a higher juice capacity. But it's 2 O-rings on there, which fit in nice and snug. And it goes against this little kind of ridge right there at the top cap section. The drip tip fits right over there, which is nice because then it doesn't wiggle or wobble or anything. Never had any issues. You can see the little white arrow at the top section there. Just push that to slide open and fill, and it's really easy to fill because it's nice and generously sized. So you can get a glass dripper in there, you can get a unicorn in there, whatever you got, it fills it up no problem. And it even lets the air out of that hole as well, so not a bad design choice there. So real quick, I'll show you how to get the glass piece section out here. You just want to unscrew that and just kind of push against the little chimney right there, and there you go, your glass piece comes out. If you have to change it, just make sure you grab these O-rings off of there first because those are absolutely necessary, so make sure you do that. Then you have the little dots on this chimney section here, which are kind of an interesting aesthetic choice. Not really sure why they did that, but hey, there you go. I'm pretty sure they do not serve any sort of purpose. I can't see any way, shape, or form they could because there's nothing on the inside to indicate that they're nothing more than a design choice, but there you go. You can see the bore right down the middle there as well, pretty matching with the top cap, and you have the little juice inlet slots right here, so that is where the juice goes down into the coil. Take this upper section all the way off, and here we have our coil. So let's just take our coil out real quick, and you can see the nice big O-ring at the top there. And you can see probably the little juice holes on the side, and you can see your coil here. This is the 0.4 ohm single hole coil. One thing I wish they did was include an O-ring at the top of this rather than just have kind of that buffer in the upper section there, because it fits kind of snug but not snug enough for my liking. I would have liked it to be a little bit tighter personally, but hey, that's just me. You can see the nice big bore on that coil as well. That's where your airflow is going through, and it definitely is plentiful. And you can see the bottom of the coils have this nice big contact point there. So let's just go ahead and put our coil back in, and it just kind of pops into place like that. Then we have the bottom section here. As you can see, it's got that big contact point at the bottom. And just be a little bit more cautious with this one when you're cleaning it, because it has this little dimple in the middle and these 2 little fins on the edges. And if you're drying it off with a paper towel, they are a little bit sharp, so just be really cautious when you're drying this thing and cleaning this thing. So here you can see the airflow slot, and there are 3 of them to match, so there you go. And this provides it with plenty of airflow. These are fully closable, so if you turn it all the way that way, you could close it off all the way and open it up all the way right there. Pretty plain and simple. You've seen a lot of them like that, and it does have that little stopper in there, so it does kind of click when it's fully open, which is nice. And then on the bottom here, we have the heat insulation layer. Now, this is kind of a piece of Delrin or plastic of some sort that basically prevents your mod from getting super hot when you're vaping at high wattage. So that's kind of a nice touch. I really haven't noticed a huge difference, to be honest with you, but then again, I'm vaping this particular coil around the 70 watt mark, so it's really nothing too crazy there. But hey, there you go. You can see the little 510 connection right there in the middle, and otherwise nothing too special on the bottom of this thing. So that's about all I've got for you guys in this little close-up section here. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it has a huge juice capacity. This thing holds 7 mils of e-liquid, which is great for the cloud chasers out there, because personally, I hate filling my tanks a million times a day, and with this one here, I probably only have to fill it once or maybe twice. With the 7 mil juice capacity, you can go on a long drive and probably back again and not have to fill your tank, so it definitely passes the long drive test in my book. I see so many companies with the kind of 3.5 mil sort of standard, and personally I feel like 5 mil should be the baseline, and anything more than that is just an added bonus. My second pro today is that it's compatible with the entire GT family of coils, including the GTM coils that are meant for the Cascade tank and the regular GT coils using the adapter that's included in the box, which is great because that way if you have multiple different devices, let's say you have a Revenger kit and you have the Cascade tank, you can use the coils interchangeably. My third pro for this one is that this thing does not leak. I've never had a single drop of juice come out the airflow section, which is great because so many other tanks just have that sort of acceptable level of leakiness, and I personally can't stand it because I hate getting juice all over my fingers. It just makes a big sticky mess and I just really hate it. And my fourth and final pro for this one is that it's easy to fill. Not only does it have the slide open top fill feature that I love, but the opening up top is rather large as well, so it fits your glass strippers or your unicorn bottles alike. And with that, you don't have to fill this thing all that often, but when you do have to fill it, it's really easy. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that it looks a little bit goofy. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is a little bit strange looking because it has this big bulbous section up top here and then it gets a little bit skinnier towards the base. The way I kind of mask that and cover it up is I just slip a vape band over this section here and it hides it rather well. I'm not gonna lie, it does look pretty much normal when you put a vape band around there, but otherwise it does look a little bit on the goofy side. My second con for this one is the wide bore tip fake out. Now, as you saw in the close-up view, it has this big old massive tip up top here, but then you get to the bottom of the tip and it's just a regular old 510, so it's a little bit disappointing. Really wish they fit the 810 size chimney in this thing. It would have made for a little bit smoother of a draw for the higher wattages, especially when your coils are rated up to 200 watts. This thing does get a little bit warmer, especially towards the top section here, because that airflow all has to condense down into the smaller chimney section here, and I feel like they could have easily fixed that sort of situation by kind of bulging out the bottom a little bit more, and that would increase the juice capacity, displacing the room necessary for a wider chimney. And my third and final con for this one is kind of open-ended and a bit subjective. As I mentioned in the pros, it comes with a GT coil adapter which fits the GT series of coils, and it doesn't have an RBA section. Now, I kind of have a question for you guys out there. Would you rather have the GT coil adapter that it comes with, or would you rather them throw in an RBA section? I know a lot of people that would find it very convenient if they already own something by Vaporesso and upgraded to a Cascade tank so that they can use their pre-existing coils. But then again, I know a lot of the builders out there are probably going to go for the RBA section, but just let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys right down there in the comments box below. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? And I'm going to say yes to this one. I actually picked it for my best sub-tank of 2017, and I stand by that. It has great flavor, great vapor production, it has a huge juice capacity, and it's relatively inexpensive, so I think it's just a little bit ahead of the Cleto 120 in my book. It just ticks all the boxes for me, and I absolutely love it. So if you're in the market for a sub-ohm tank, then definitely check out the Cascade. I'll leave links right down there in the description below. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts all about the Cascade or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. Also, check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on. Kerkakoba.